Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Here we're going to continue playing The Outer Worlds tonight. This is part 2 of my Outer Worlds gameplay video. We're going to jump back in. We're only about 30 minutes into the game so far. Just got onto the ship, and now we're going to start doing some quests.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay.
I don't work for you. Let's try this.
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
I don't need to see your manager. My name's not Karen. Beep, beep, beep. Let's see. Okay, still follow the main line. Apparently I suck at shooting. Lead. Nope, looks like he died. Where'd the body go? Damn marauders. There's Edgewater.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
Oh, hey. Silas.
Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. You talk too pretty for a marauder. Most of them just grunt and yell. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Look, you obviously ain't a worker. What's your racket? You a smuggler? Freelancer? Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge. Quotas, mostly. Got a backlog of graves to fill. Bodies won't bury themselves, you know? 4 workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. Yeah? You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed. Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the 1... all my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem's the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees. Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna duck my pay.
Alright, so I think I'm going to switch to the side quest for now.
I could really go for some salt tuna.
We're trying to get some of this money back. Alright, let's visit the barber shop.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
Ugh. Do your haircuts usually come with free lectures?
We don't believe in free anything here in Edgewater. We're a Spacer's Choice company. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
Prepare my remains for what?
Burial, in the unfortunate event of a fatality. It's what a barber does. We make you presentable.
I'm looking to repair my ship.
A ship? Dear me. You seem to have lost the ability to distinguish between reality and fantasy. This is what happens when you let your imagination run wild. I don't approve of fantasizing. It's a dreadful habit, corrosive to the mental faculties. You ought to let the vicar take a look inside your head.
You're a vicar?
Vicar Maximilian, our man from the OSI, here to spread the message of scientism like a soothing balm upon a feverish head. Or so you'd expect. You'll find him in our local church, probably neglecting his duties.
You don't seem to like him much.
He doesn't seem to like us much. The vicar has not been with us long, and in his relatively short tenure in Edgewater, gives off the distinct whiff of superiority.
I've got some questions for you.
Go ahead.
You seem pretty enthusiastic about this place.
Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started.
What do you know about this plague?
The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame.
What are the symptoms?
Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching.
What you're describing sounds a lot like a flu.
Whatever it may be, I have developed my own palliative. Boiled canid liver and a splash of ethanol.
Why don't you treat all of your workers?
Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us.
Whose idea was that?
Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours.
Silas sent me to collect your dues.
Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions.
You mean you're broke?
As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch.
That's some quality drama, Conrad. You should audition.
Thank you, no. I despise the serials. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay. and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies.
Hang on. Medical rights?
Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings.
Just give Silas an IOU.
Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers! No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions.
I'll let you know if I think of anything.
Much obliged.
Well, let's check out everybody else.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Never been healthier.
Okay.
Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy.
You want to tell me what's got you so nervous?
You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about
That
his
didn't
mental
work.
state?
So you're Martin Abernathy?
What? No. I mean, I might be. That depends on who's asking.
I'm not looking for trouble. I'm just here to collect your gravesite fees.
Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows.
He told me everything. How long did you think you could keep a secret like that?
Sounds like he's already told you. You may as well hear it from me. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching. And soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one.
You're being paranoid.
I am? Law, help me. Paranoia is one of the plague's known symptoms.
Oh.
I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help.
How can I help?
There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me.
Not so fast. I've got some questions.
I'll do what I can.
Why can't you just buy some medicine yourself?
I tried medicating myself with Adrenatime. Didn't do much for me, as far as I can tell. Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly prohibited to any workers beneath the acceptable margin of health. Company policy.
In other words, the company won't treat you because you're already sick.
More like the company won't treat me because I'm not healthy enough.
I assume there are guards.
You will not find any guards within sight of that old place. Marauders, on the other hand.
What can you tell me about these marauders?
I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly.
I've heard enough.
So you'll do it then?
I'll do it.
You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Law, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it.
Anything I should know about this community center?
Just keep your head down when you're in there. Marauders have taken over. Probably tracking mud all over the archives.
You're taking an awful risk trusting me, you know.
I know that, but I got nobody else to turn to. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone to see the good vicar, but I never did find my courage.
I'll leave you be.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Excuse me, lady?
Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with Abernathy. I hope you're not thinking about getting him that medicine. Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling it to me instead.
He's got symptoms of something. You're saying it's psychosomatic?
All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? He's got a lot of cobwebs up in his attic.
What do you need it for?
I probably shouldn't tell you. Don't want you implicated for what I'm trying to do.
Let me worry about that.
All right. Here's a summary. A lot of sick people in this town, and we don't have the medicine to treat them all. Can't reach out to corporate without crossing a river of red tape, so I'm reaching out to you.
Abernathy's paying me for my trouble. Can you match his offer?
I'm paid better than Abernathy. Whatever he's giving you, I will do you one better.
I'll think about it.
That's all I can ask of you.
Fancy threads. That some kind of hibernation suit?
Hey, about those fees you wanted.
You run into any trouble?
Conrad says he can't afford to pay.
Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners. Skimp out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room.
Are you suggesting extortion?
That's the word, extortion. Been on the tip of my tongue all day.
I'll take a look. Conrad, receptionist, shot himself. This is bad. Company's going to have to call it for what it is. Destruction of Spacer's Choice property. Eugene was an asset, and somebody has to pay his body price. This is going to ruin us, so I was thinking that we pawn off his teeth. Eugene had a full set of gold teeth. Heirlooms passed down his family or something. You're processing his body, right? Just dig around and pry them out. We sell the teeth somewhere nice and quiet, use the bits to pay his body price, and nobody's the wiser. What do you think? Don't write back. In fact, don't talk to me at all. Just give me a special signal next time you see me. Waggle your eyebrows. Phyllis. Well... that is definitely an interesting tidbit.
What can I do for you?
I know about Eugene. Why not use his teeth as collateral for your gravesite fees?
You know about Eugene? How?
I found a note from Phyllis.
Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. I didn't approve of the idea then, and I don't approve of it now. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave.
They were probably worth a few bits.
More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Ask forgiveness from the vicar later.
The good Vicar Maximilian and I have never quite seen eye to eye, but your point is well taken. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Goodbye. Here's Phyllis.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy.
I'm guessing you're the foreman?
Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you.
Gravesite fees. I'm here to collect.
Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment.
These papers aren't signed in your name.
Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill.
That's kind of you, I guess.
I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker.
You said this guy shot himself?
Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable.
Must be tough losing family.
Eugene wasn't family.
I thought you said you were his closest living relative.
Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
You can't be serious.
I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice.
He was a person, not an asset.
Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
I'll let you get back to work. Don't mind me, I'm just walking over people's graves. Oops. I guess you can't run and jump. Hello, Ludwig.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff.
Are you okay? You seem confused.
I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just my luck. I asked for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk.
Hey,
All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about. Firing at the birds. Orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance?
got a question for you.
Go on.
What exactly do you do here?
I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially, unofficially, strictly between you and me, I am the only thing standing between Edgewater and total annihilation.
Got a question
Go on.
for you. What do you have against mechanicals?
You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands there? Just looking at you, scanning you with its murderous oculars.
I'm pretty sure that's what they were programmed to do.
Mechanicals have been programmed to eliminate the human race. They've been programmed to replace us. First, they will rob us of our jobs. And once they have taken away our livelihoods, they will take away our very lives.
If your resistance needs another gun, I am for hire.
I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. So tuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's chaw, few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid.
Proper armies pay enlistment fees.
Enlistment fees? Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name.
What do you need done?
They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
If I'm going after this mechanical scout, I can use a couple of pointers.
Mechanical's got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing.
Silas sent me. You owe him your gravesite fees.
I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the Resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling.
He sure did. And he's asking for a little extra to furnish the Resistance with mechanical repellent.
Mechanical repellent! A stroke of inspiration from the law itself. Here, I've been saving up a couple bits for just such a project.
I'll let you be. Let's get rid of these. Repair my gun. Wait. Heavy armor. I don't want to wear Marauder armor, so. Repair my high rage suit. No modifications yet. Alright. Back to Silas.
Grave digging's a fine profession. Always work to be had, and nary a word of complaint out of your clients.
We need to talk about Eugene.
Yeah? What about him?
I read a letter from Phyllis. She mentioned digging him up for his gold teeth.
Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away. Vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead.
I'll keep an eye out for them, I guess.
Let me know if you find anything.
Got a question for
Yeah?
you. Have you heard any news about the Hope?
The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big starship packed full of colonists what got lost in the aether never to be found again? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing, far as rumors go. There a reason you asking?
I don't understand. Are you saying everybody's forgotten about us?
Hope's just a rumor, friend. Ancient rumor at that. Maybe you've been out in the sun too long. Why don't you head over to the cantina? Get yourself some Zero-G brew. It's a brew that's good for what ails you.
I don't understand. They said the colony was expecting us.
Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about Hope this and Colony that, but you need to stop, or there's gonna be trouble.
Where's the trouble in asking a question?
Trouble's in the asking. Board don't much care for folk running their mouths, spreading hoaxes and the like. Frankly, neither do I.
Let's change the subject.
Something I can do for you?
Hey, about those fees you wanted.
You run into any trouble?
I'm all done. Paperwork, fees, and signatures.
Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to.
I went out of my way for you.
And I'll buy you a drink sometime.
I was hoping for something more tangible.
Oh, suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another.
Abernathy was trying to hide his own illness.
Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy.
He was convinced you knew.
What? No. If I knew he was sick, I would have had him reported. I needed his fees because of his name. A, for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see?
Let me ask you about something else.
Yeah?
Never mind. I should go. Okay. So I think that's enough for this video. Join me next time so I can continue on. Complete some more side quests. For now, if you enjoyed this, certainly give the video a like. You can also subscribe if you'd like to see more. And again, thank you for viewing. Goodbye.